Well, the day has finally come. I ordered up a Laguna 8-inch joiner and it arrived today. I ordered mine from Acme Tools during the 10% off promo that Laguna puts on almost every other month. But yeah, package arrived. There's a few dings on the box and the crate, and we're gonna have to open it up and see what we've got. So I was able to get the crate opened a little bit more. The top box is the stand. I opened up the box. I was a little nervous. There was a big tear on the back of the box for the stand, but fortunately there's enough styrofoam packing in and around it that there was no damage. So no scratches, no dents. Looks really clean. So inside the stand there were several pieces. There's what I believe to be the switch, and there's also a cord with a plug on it. So we will see what if that's the plug for the wall or if that's supposed to plug into something else. But I'll get this thing unpacked a little bit more. But you can see I just lifted the crate, or the top of the crate off. Everything is got styrofoam and plastic, and there's even like one of those little silica bags with the silica beads for moisture. Yeah, crate looks to be pretty well made. Packing is looking pretty good as well. So I've got everything unboxed. There were 2 or 3 boxes inside the crate, as well as one or two boxes inside the stand. And it primarily contained just extra parts here. And you can see here we've got, there's your blade guard. We got a couple wheels, crank handles. We got 2 belts, some extra cutters, as well as the Torx wrenches to take off and to replace them. We got a couple wrenches, a couple Allen wrenches, as well as some bolts here. I'm guessing that's to hold the jointer to the stand, but I still need to read the instructions to find out. And then we got our dust collection attachment, and then this is the front panel or back panel for the stand. Okay, so I wanted to give you kind of an update on what I've done here so far. I've got the joiner head out of the box. Fortunately, I was able to do this by myself, but I had a forklift. So I know not a lot of you guys will be able to do that, but I had a forklift, so I was able to attach. I ran a sling under this arm right close to the base and right under this side of the bed as well. And then I hooked it up to the forks. Lifted it right up. This thing, the head, I gotta say it's probably close to, I don't know, a couple hundred pounds, a few hundred pounds. It'd be a 2-person job easy. It would definitely be a 2-person lift if you were to lift it by hand onto the table or onto the stand. The stand itself, there was 3 bolts holding this onto the stand, one of which is underneath the dust collection chute, and then the other 2 you can access they're in this corner, so right there and then on the other side, so you can get in under there through the back. So I attached the power switch, which is just 3 Allen screws. Strangely enough, the tool came with several different Allen wrenches and regular wrenches, but the Allen wrench that it took to put the power switch onto the table was not included with the rest of the tools. So fortunately, I mean, a lot of you woodworkers or anybody that's handy should have a set of Allen wrenches anyway, so I didn't really think that was a big deal. I was able to find one actually from a previous tool purchase. So got it all hooked up. All the grease is removed. I use just a squirt. I know the manual says to use kerosene to remove it. You don't want to use any real abrasive. You don't want to use like a Scotch-Brite pad or anything to scrub it off, I just use paper towels and some cleaner degreaser. This one is Greased Lightning. I think you can get that from like Menards or Lowe's. I did a little bit of checking to see how flat and square this is. I did have to adjust the settings for the fence, which is just a couple of set screws to get it into square. It turned out I was able to get it into square really easily. It's square all the way across full length on the infeed and outfeed sides. So I'm going to go ahead now and try and attach the drive belts and the cutter head guard, as well as the two wheels that go underneath to adjust the beds. So I got the blade guard on, which was quite simple. So there's a small shaft that sits on here. There's a spring inside underneath this cover here. So that's all you do is you just slide it down into a hole here in the casting. There's a set screw that holds it in place, and then it's now spring loaded. The spring on this is kind of sticky. So I don't know if that just needs to be broken in or if I need to spray a little oil in that or not, but got the wheels on, just a Phillips head screw. Got to play around with this a little bit yet. I'll come around back here and I'll show you. I got there are two drive belts on here that run up the back, and you can access the top. There's another pulley right in behind this cover, so you just pull this off and you can access the other wheel. So the manual tells you to loosen the bolts for the motor in order to get the belts on. I didn't bother doing that. What I ended up doing is I hooked the first belt up around the top pulley, ran it down, got it on here as far as I could go, so it kind of went in the groove, and then it cut over onto the outside here and across, and then I just took it and I spun it, and it spun itself on. I did that for both belts. It worked actually quite well, and I think this is probably about the tension that you need. I think it says in the manual here that the correct tension should be, if you can squeeze it in the middle and it comes to about 1 inch apart in the center, that is the correct tension. While we're back here too, wanted to show you the plate. This is the electrical requirements here for the motor. So if you need to wire in 220, this is what you will need. I did find out the plug the cord that came on this is ready to go. So this is the plug. I unfortunately do not have an outlet to work with this plug, so I'm going to need to go and grab a different receptacle and wire that in. But yeah, so far this thing is looking pretty good. Really happy with it. There's no damage. The tables all appear to be flat. Again, I haven't done too close to testing on this yet, but yeah. Oh, one other thing too I wanted to mention while I was in the back there, but the wheels. So there are casters, there are wheels on this. There are 4 wheels, one in each corner, and they are both facing this direction. So the joiner can roll in this direction, and it rolls quite easily. They are plastic wheels, so and if you need to, you can turn it. It does slide, and you can turn it a little bit. I'm probably not going to be moving mine around too much, but these are the stops, similar to some of the other stands for the Laguna tools. It's a screw that just screws right into the end of the wheel to lock it in place. I definitely will be using that, so hopefully over time these wheels don't dry out or crack due to the screw pushing into the end, but I guess what I said, time will tell. Okay, so I just finished putting a coat of paste wax on both the infeed and outfeed tables as well as the fence. And this thing looks clean. I'm really happy with it. Just wanted to kind of give you some overall dimensions here. Table length from infeed to outfeed is 72 inches long. The height of the tables as it stands on the ground is 32 inches high. The depth from the back handle here over to where the little wing sticks out here is about 27 inches. So it does stick back from the machine a little bit. Let me see if I can give you that dimension. From the back of the stand, it sticks out about 9 inches. The overall stand dimensions are about 16 inches by 23. So I'm going to get out my straight edge and I'm going to make sure everything is nice and flat from infeed to outfeed and start setting my depth. Again, I'm really excited to use this thing. So far I'm really happy. I am going to go through and check the blades here to make sure that all the little cutters are tightened, so I don't have any mishaps there. I may wipe off a little coating of oil too, but yeah, again, really happy. The Laguna 8-inch joiner. Thanks, guys.